How are we doing, guys? Hope you're having a good Thursday so far, November 4th. And thanks again to those class captains. You guys are really doing a great job. Thanks for, I believe Mr. Jolly is going to be standing in today, so appreciate it, Todd. And make sure that you are using Mr. Jolly as a resource. He's got a lot of great knowledge about government and citizenship, and he really walks the walk and talks the talk. So if you haven't already, make sure you take a look at this warm-up. It's not only getting into some of the stuff that we did last class from 3-13, but it also is kind of getting into what we're going to be doing this class, which is to construct your own website. So as we kind of get going, you'll see what I'm talking about, but make sure that you're having a chance to discuss. You'll see that our topics that we went into last class are right in here. So that's what number 2 has to do too. Okay, so for today we're going to be creating a website with your table group so that you can teach the class related to one of the issues that you've been discussing on freedom of speech and expression in public schools. So hopefully you had a chance to be able to complete 313 last class. If not, that's going to be your first step to make sure that you've got some knowledge on some of those First Amendment in school topics that especially were in part 2 on 313 so that we can get going with this learning target. All right, so again, make sure that you're finishing up 313 because there was some topics that we needed to go into where it kind of went into different court cases that were kind of a precedent, which remember that idea of a precedent is where a court case serves as a piece of evidence that you can use to be able to argue in a current court case. So that'll give you some background so that you can be successful on 314. So once you get to 314 with your group, you are going to be deciding which of these topics that you would like to focus on. So your entire group, the entire table that you're sitting with currently is going to be doing the same topic. So the first step is to be able to decide which of these topics that you would like to focus on for your website. So that's step number 1. So just a little bit of overview on this project. Again, you're going to be working with your table group. We're starting on it today, November 4th. There's going to be a little bit of work time and finishing touches for November 5th. There is a common lit that I'm going to have you guys go into on November 5th as well. Typically, that doesn't take more than 15-20 minutes. So I would plan on half and half, but basically it's today. It's a long period. You've got the entire time to be able to work on this. So please make sure that you are using your time wisely. And as far as the points go, I always hated how sometimes group members would sabotage my grade on a group project. So half of it is going to be a group grade, but then there is half of it that's going to be more of an individual grade. So if you have somebody that's a total slacker, which I don't think is going to happen, you're not going to lose the entire grade on that. All right. So let's get into your roles. So these are pretty clear cut. So if there is somebody that's slacking, I know who's going to be slacking. So the first step is to be able to decide what topic that you would like to do. And remember, this recording is on It's Learning. So if you don't remember all of this, then you can always go back to this recording to make sure that you can understand it. Remember, the topics are from part 2 on 313. So those highlighted teal topics, including the Pledge of Allegiance, cyberbullying, the library with books and stuff like that. So all of those are your available topics. All right. Please note, guys, that we don't want any more than 2 groups doing the same topic. So it's okay if you have 2 groups that both want to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I think that that's fine, but I want to be able to spread it around a little bit. And then we have these roles. So you've got one role that's called the GIST specialist, that you're going to provide a little bit of an overview on your topic. An example, if necessary. Why is this topic controversial, or is it controversial? Why or why not? And then just to go into the W questions related to your topic. When has this mainly came up? Where has it been a big issue? What is the topic? Kind of just getting into that overview, and why is this something that's important? And also I want on the works cited that you're getting into this with 2 additional sources besides the source that we went into in 313. So that's going to be the key on that as well. And then we have the case law specialist. And so keep in mind that if you have 4 people in your group, you're going to have 2 people that are going to be the case law specialist, because as you notice, you're going to be describing 2 court cases related to your topic. So each person, if you have 4 people in your group, will do 1 court case. And for the court case, and you're going to take this directly from 313, what happened in each case, what was, when was it decided, and what was the decision, and what was the precedent that this case set? In other words, like, because of this decision, how did future court cases use that court case as evidence? So there's going to be 1 or maybe 2 people, depending on if you have 4 people in your group, that are going to be the case law specialists, and then we're going to have the evaluator. So that's where you're going to give an evaluation from the perspective of your group related to this topic. So what is your group's opinion related to this topic and why? And then also you're going to be doing kind of some overall roles. So you're kind of, in a way, you're seen as the group leader. You're going to be fact checking all of the other sections and helping out. You're going to be the one that's putting together your works cited. And you're also going to be the leader as far as putting together your product. So you're going to be the one that's going to be getting up the Google Sites, or if your group decides to do a Prezi, which you're welcome to do that, but you're going to have to do that on your own as far as getting it up and doing it and stuff like that. So I'm going to provide a little support on Google Sites for Prezi or Wix. If you decide to do Wix, you're on your own. Okay. If you only have 2 people in your group, then you're both going to need to be this evaluator. So that's basically saying that one of you is going to be the GIST specialist, one of you is going to be the case law specialist, and then you're both going to be taking this role on. All right. Okay. So once you get started, you're going to be going, and this is again your evaluator that's going to be doing this. You're going to go into your Google Drive and you're going to open up a new, and then you're going to go to more. And then from there, you're going to go into Google Sites. So you do need to go most likely into that more to be able to find Google Sites. And so that's what you're going to do to be able to get a new website started. From there, it will open up something that looks like this. You're going to title your site, whatever your topic's name is. And then once you put in a title here, so you do need to write something in here, otherwise it's not going to let you share it. So this right here is the share button. So once you put in your title, which you can put it right here and right here, you are going to share it with the people at your table as well as me. So make sure that you're also sharing that with me so that on Monday when we share this with each other, we're going to kind of present. I don't like to say present, but we're going to share it out on Monday. That way I can have access to it so I can put it on the projector. The other thing I wanted to point out here is to be able to create new pages, you just need to go to this tab right here. This is a column that you can go to, and there'll be like kind of like a circular plus that you can put for pages. And if you are the evaluator, then I would recommend that you just make a page for each of your teammates as well as an additional page for your works cited, and then another page for your evaluation as far as your group's opinion. So there's probably going to be 4 pages. So it's going to be a pretty simple website, but that way you can have something that's up in the ante a little bit from Google Slides. I'd rather you kind of do a little bit more of a rigorous thing as opposed to just putting together a Google Slides. So go ahead and try out this Google site, and we can go from there. Okay. Again, if you want to do a Prezi, that's totally fine. But I don't really know too much about Prezi, so this is Google site is the one that I'm going to kind of help out with. Okay, last but not least, guys, for 3-14, you are going to be needing to do a works cited. So again, the evaluator is going to create a page using that middle part over here, and there's a little plus. Also notice that there's some layouts here that you can use if you want. One of your pages is going to be called works cited. I would recommend that you do your works cited in MLA format. So this is something that you're going to be expected to do for those of you that go on to the next level as far as college goes. So work on that, give it a shot, one other thing that I'll recommend related to MLA Works Cited. I'm not one of those teachers that's like, oh, we need to figure it out by yourself. You can't use some of those citation machines and stuff like that. In fact, on Google Docs, you can go into this tab that's called add-ons, and you can say get add-ons. And then one of the add-ons that you can get is called the EasyBib Bibliography Creator. So you can just put in EasyBib. Once you search add-ons, you can find the one that's called EasyBib. I think there's even a tab that you can use for that. You install that, and then you can go ahead and manage your bibliography once you have it installed. And once you do that, it'll pull up this side section here that's over on the side, and you're going to be able to select website. And so any website that you're going to be using, you can go ahead and use. So for example, the main website that we are going into here is this one. All right, so this is the one that every single person is going to use. So this is from the Freedom Forum Institute. It's talking about K through 12 public school student expression. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go into a shared document that I created that's called Works Cited for the Pledge of Allegiance. And then I'm going to go into my add-ons, and I'm going to go to the EasyBib Bibliography Creator and manage the bibliography. From there, I'm going to select website. I'm going to enter in that URL, paste that in, Control V, search it. From there, what would you know? It says K-12 Public Schools Student Expression Overview from the Freedom Forum Institute. I'm going to select that. And you can either just straight up add it to this document here, or you can copy the information that's in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just add it, use that red button to add it. And then you can see here that it is now added this information here. Keep in mind, guys, that depending on your professor in college, they may be a little bit more nitpicky than others. I can tell you that I'm taking a lot of courses right now, from graduate level courses to be able to get my principal licensure. And they say that as long as you have it and as long as you're kind of giving an effort, then that's okay. So it really does depend on your professor. You may need to say like accessed from this at this date or some other information. So the Purdue OWL is a really good resource as far as that goes. But for the sake of this project, this is totally fine. So then you're going to take this, you're going to put it into your Works Cited. And so it'll look something like this. Make sure that these are all alphabetical. That's one thing that it looks like these guys kind of screwed up on, which is okay. All right, guys. So remember, you're going to have the rest of the day today to be able to do this, as well as at least probably about half of the day tomorrow. So do your best. Work with each other. Use this video if you need to. You can forward ahead and back if you need to. And you guys are awesome. You guys are great. All right. Thanks, guys.